purposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in.
Good
Wait,
evening.
is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, 3 strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that? I have the right tools for the job.
What's up, Greg? Hope you got into a lot of the events you wanted. There were lots to choose from. There's still stuff coming in. Greg here, what's up? Woo! Hello.
Hello. So,
Tim's probably going to join us for a little bit.
okay. There we go. I'm snacking a bit here. I had
That's okay.
siesta for a couple hours.
It's all good.
Yep.
A story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape.
Don't know how many people be on. It is a holiday day, you know. But 14 days of Throttle getting rescued. First, oh, in your game, I got it. I got it. I was like, what? We'll see. We shall see, huh? What's up, Michael? There you go. Shut you out there. Hello. Yeah, some other people who normally don't catch us on the other nights may be able to catch us tonight, you know? So, it's all good.
That's funny, Plugger here. I hope you had a good weekend. Yeah.
Chris. Chris, I think you and your wife got in both of the Troller games I saw, right? Just going through all the signups.
Oh, good to hear.
It's all good. Oops. No problem, man. All good. So we got fun coming. Interesting discussion tonight. Thanks a lot for understanding. Last night I had a lot of people over my house, so no shot at having the Gabbin last night. But, yep, you're good. Gonna be missing his Thursday's game, so we want to definitely not waste 2 streams this week. It's working fine. There we go. Good. Circuit's going out tomorrow. It's all packed. Yep. What's up? Yeah, and your winnings from are going out too. Yep. So we got a bunch of stuff going out. It's a little early. Who cares, right? Get to share some virtual GrowCon updates. What's going on, Anna?
Yeah.
On a Monday.
Yeah.
Usually happens during holidays and after the Super Bowl.
I was just going to say, yeah, when there's special sports events.
Absolutely. I guess Memorial Day, maybe another one sometimes. Memorial Day, Labor Day, Super Bowl, holidays fall on a Sunday, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Let's do this before we get into the topic. All right. So, games are filling up quickly.
Yeah, I have one that is not filling up two are filled up and one is not filling up. So I need to advertise for it
Yeah,
in
I
a bit
think
here.
it'll go. You
Oh
got one
yeah, I think
person
so.
in it.
Yeah, Amy
Amy,
Crittenden.
yeah, Amy
Yep.
signed up for Tim's game too because there was one seat
Oh,
open. So
awesome.
yeah,
Yep.
she was the last ticket that went in. She put a game in as well.
hmm
So yeah, so we got there's a lot of games still left. You know, so this hunt for Valharian is live streamed on YouTube. That's the one for Murder Hobo. He has two games, but so looks like we got Indicarus and Norker in that game, which is
hmm
cool. And then there's still one seat here in Allen's. Here's yours. Yeah, your Shieldland Scout Party. My guess is it'll be filled by the end of
We'll see.
it's only
Yep.
been since Saturday. I have no problem. I
Yeah,
think it'll
because
be
I have three games. The first the skirmish game,
Yep.
low level, and then we have the scout party mid level to almost high, like 8, 7,
Right.
8, 9th level, and then the main mission that is the high level game. And one ties into the other, but they are freestanding, but they're in the same area. So
Yeah.
one event, what happens, you will actually start seeing what happens in the next one. So
Beautiful.
time-wise, they've done to the first one will go straight into the second one and go straight into the third one. So if you want to,
Nice.
you could have played in all three, and you could have gone not the same character though, because I can't level up the poor guys that are defending the keep. They will not go on the main mission the same day, a few hours later, so to speak.
Right. It's all good. Let me see here. So why does it say 105? That is weird. Oh, maybe she undid it. Chris Johnson.
Okay, yep.
Weird stuff's going on in Tim's game.
But it's cool. We're
Yeah,
starting to fill up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not his. That's why. Is that? Wait a minute. That's not his. That's why. I'm looking at the wrong person. No wonder. Yeah, that's Rob's. That's Rob's game. That's Rob. So Riders on the Storm is Tim's. Yeah. So we got there you go. Yeah, Amy just got in that one. So there we're good on that. Yep. Yeah, I mean it's going. It is going. Things are moving along.
Yeah, we have like over 40, 50 games.
Almost up to 50 now. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the target number. So Yoav asked, "Hey, did I put too many games in?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe, but I said let's just concentrate on the one that had some signups." And now I can't. This one here, Isle of the Sunken Mage. That's Saturday night. I'll try to work on that. So yeah, Chris, don't unsign up on that one for me, please. Stay in that one. All right, if you don't mind. That way.
Steven Chenault only has two.
Because they got their own people. Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There. So when they figure out, then of course they will fill up. Yeah.
Title still shows family trees. Yeah, on this page, Bill. Thanks. Good catch. 1 sec. So you're right. So if I go here, I'll do this real quick. And I go here and I copy this. And I go to 13. Thanks, man. The discussion for tonight is going to be this. Once I put it in, paste. Yeah, campaign Borderlands and Skirmish Zones. So we're gonna talk about it in our campaign, like what's going on, like opportune areas, and just maybe talk about some campaign things that have happened in the past or are going on now. I think that'll be good. And then I got like Shieldland stuff in common. I mean, there's a lot of other places. I got some in mind. I'll be scrolling through. And we'll give you thanks, Bill. We'll talk about some updates that's going on in the areas. It'll be a fun discussion tonight. My gosh, where's my freaking shout outs? Too many shout outs.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Thank you for coming on Friday. Yep.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And we'll have
it's starting to be a regular crowds on Friday. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tonight, this week, Wednesday, Saturday, late morning. They're 3. No Thursday night. Yeah. So it was Greyhawk the Gen X setting, and second, it was at its own setting. Second edition, it was a lot. It was they were trying everything. There was Forgotten
Yeah,
Realms, Greyhawk, Dragonlance.
yeah, and GREYHAWK was basically sidelined for a lot of second edition.
It was a lot of generic
Yeah.
post-ins.
Yep.
There was some stuff that was done, but not much.
Yep.
Not until the end, as Eric Mona said. Not until the end of
Exactly, when the
of the
late
era,
90s
second
they
edition
came
era.
out again. Yep. But for
Yeah.
most of the second edition, it was simply because Gygax was ousted from TSR, so they wanted alternatives to GREYHAWK for the most part of second edition. And they made the second edition to get him out of the books, so to speak. And with him went the GREYHAWK setting. But then he came back roaring back again in the late 90s, early 2000s,
So there was
leading up to the Living GREYHAWK. So
Roger Moore did Return of the Eight, and then you had some other
Yep.
things. You had the trilogy
Yep.
with
Yeah, so for majority of second edition,
Star
there was no.
Cairns and things like that. You know, as Eric Mona and crew were ramping back up. You know, that was that was a good discussion on Wednesday. What's up, my Morph? All right, so
Yep.
don't know where we should start here. We got plenty of areas. So you know, and I think Arthur said in chat, and well, isn't all of GREYHAWK a skirmish zone? I said, this is not a Legends and Lore. This is a Gabbin. This one goes over what's going on in the campaign.
That might very well be. Yep.
Yeah, not what, you know, that's what it is. It's about what we're doing, what fun things are going on, and you know, some skirmish zone areas. There's a lot of them. Yeah, it's all good because you had what was the other one? Which one I can never remember. The one Birthright is in there. You had Ravenloft in second edition. Planescape.
Yeah, it was
Spelljammer.
Exactly. It was the age when TSR had a dozen settings they produced stuff for. So GREYHAWK kind of get left. Exactly. GREYHAWK was kind of lost in the fray, first deliberately and then not picked up again until the end of the second edition era.
It was very silly what happened, but you know.
Yeah, but that's
World. Oh my gosh.
Corporate politics, so to speak.
Yeah, very corporate politics.
Yep.
So, yeah. Oh, Al-Qadim? Neither did I. I never played Al-Qadim either.
No, I haven't, but yeah.
Cthulhu stats still just... So,
yeah, so skirmishes. Stuff. How do you define skirmishes? Or what were thoughts?
An area that is not completely civilized in the GREYHAWK world. You know, so we're going to talk, for me, it's Forest, some Lort Mills, Vespi, Wild Coast, Cairn Hills, most of the Shieldlands. Yeah, see, that would be good for you too, Michael. But I know nothing about that area, so I can't talk about it. So, you know, there's a forest there. Don't know what's going on or what has happened. You know, so, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I would be a spot for you in Niron, definitely. But I got your map here, so we're good to rock and roll and move around on it. So
I was thinking when you introduce a topic, skirmishes, that I get the sense that I want to have it as low to mid intensity warfare, so to speak.
Yeah.
Meaning not the big battles. It's one of these areas where they conflict, but not outright general wars. It's one of these where violence is one of many methods. They settle conflicts and disputes and stuff, but one of many still. There's still parlay and talks and general life can go on to more or less degree, so to speak, and lesser degree or more in some areas. So it's not outright warfare, but it's still there, so to speak, from minimal warfare to mid-level warfare, so to speak. That's where I see it
slightly differently because I don't want to go, well, there has to be a government there. Because
no, warfare can be between all sorts of factions and stuff. So not necessarily a government. No,
right, exactly, and that's the way I look at it. And a lot of it
I'm thinking factions, and I just have governments in one form of faction, so to speak.
Yeah,
that whole territory. But then you have many other factions too.
Yeah, give away.
It might be between a
There you go.
government and others
Chris.
who try to usurp power or do
Right,
other
and it
stuff,
could
so to
be,
speak.
it could be your adventure arc
Hmm.
that you're doing in your area. I don't want to say your campaign in the area, as I hate that term when it comes to it's a we're doing a 5 session campaign. No, it's an adventure plot. That's a plot line. That's an adventure arc. What's up, Keith? A campaign is a setting. So I know I fight that all the time, but in 5th edition, they've kind of turned that into
Hmm.
campaign. Plus the way the West Marches term gets thrown around there so much anymore.
Yeah.
That's another one one of my
It's become
bugaboos.
fashionable again. I never heard it in decades, and all of a sudden it's out there.
We never said that in the 80s or 90s about our campaign ever.
I think
Never.
I've read about it in Dragon or something like that, but I've never used it, and it
Yeah, it's
wasn't. Yeah,
just
and then now it's fashionable, but I think it's a cool term. Yeah. Hmm.
it's fashionable, and it's I don't know if it's the right term. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
what the hell are the West Marches?
Uh,
Is that a place in Forgotten Realms?
Probably. I don't know,
Right.
or somewhere else, or in the old CNC game world, so to
It's
speak.
something I've
The
seen. See,
Castle and no,
not
no, not me. I don't mean Castle and Crusades. I mean the Castle and Crusades Society back that Gary and the other ones. Maybe they had a Western Marches somewhere. I don't know.
oh,
Or West Marches.
I
So yeah.
doubt it because I never
No,
heard it. I never heard the term back then either. I think it was a term that
yeah.
got made up
Hmm.
for someone who was like, "Oh yeah, no, I got people coming in and out." I never.
Yeah.
This is my
That
setting in
yeah.
the Forgotten Realms, so I don't know.
Hmm.
What's up, Mike? All right, so Mike, if you're bored, you want to hop on tonight because you're not on Wednesday, please feel free. Talk about some of the areas in your campaign. All right, let me do this. I've just started a game. I know. Uh, you're 45. It's your 45. Saturday's Adventures number 1131 adventures. Yeah, there. 5 times his age, Siren. How's that? Yes, fun. Well, the penultimate skirmish zone Borderland for my game is here, right? Considering there keeps all along the Jewel River, he looks confused because of that age. Asking a 9-year-old, that's funny. But once again, it just made sense back in the day. If you've seen the Darlene map, it's just common sense. Well, let's see. There's a river. The Pomars of all the humanoids is on one side. The dwarves are on the other side. Why aren't the humanoids going across the river and attacking the dwarves?
Hmm.
I don't know. Shouldn't there be someone to stop them there? Sure. And that's how it kind of came about. Um, for my campaign back in we're talking
Well, the
1980.
river is a good natural border, so to speak. It at least it deters some. It makes it a bit more difficult to cross.
Yeah, but there's
So
nothing there, Anna. There's no towns. There's nothing on that Darlene map.
probably
Zero.
because it wasn't developed, and then you can
Yeah.
also say because there's a heck of a lot of humanoids living on one side, no one else wants to live on the other side.
Yeah. So you got all the dwarves, and then of course you see what happened to Living Greyhawk. This whole
Hmm.
section is gone, and Living Greyhawk, the humanoids take it over. So
Yeah.
it's just. But we've done adventuring here since early days, and like I said, I said on a previous a previous show, um, I had no idea what to call the Prince of Ulick because there was no name for him. So his Prince Dorak the Second in my game. Yes. And he had a son, an heir, Derain, Derain, and this is. I may wait for Tim to come back. If Tim comes on, we'll discuss this because this is a very. Um, I used a lot of ghost-like images in this when we first did this, so I may come back to this battle site that Anna put on the map right there, and talk about that when Tim comes on because Tim will remember it because he ventured back in the '80s with it. But since then, and a lot of these places now have full maps, right? Full setups. Winchester's Bulwark does, Warmonger's Tower does. the original Wales Castle. It frickin' is it's Mont Saint Michel, right? That's what I use. And Frog Out Games did an entire. The Grand Duchy of Rheims has the capital that has Mont Saint Michel. It's identical, so I can actually use that without anyone having to redo it, which is neat. So, but back in the day, it was just a rectangular on a very small, and it filled the whole map because that's what we did as kids. Oh, we got to use every single square in the map, just what we did with mapping for dungeons back then too. Goblins don't swim. Well, why can't they use a little pontoon boat, BB? You know what I'm saying? yeah. So I imagine it does seem that is thrown around Zap. Orog's Mound, been there multiple times. It's not a keep. And then the White Tower, Herbie the Whites, and Outpost number 1. Lots of first ever adventure I ran with Tim and Walt is right there. The Battle of Outpost number 1, Outpost number 2 is right here. So at first there was just Wales Castle, Outpost 2, Outpost 1. There was nothing else. That's as far as it went in 1980. That's as far as we had. 3 places along there, and then the rest of it built up in the course of gaming, which is really cool. So you got a lot of PCs doing stuff. We got a lot of venturing going on. They've done multiple raids into Strain Keep Castle, which is in ruins, right? And they've actually fought Scarlet Brotherhood members there the one time. Because I just wanted to have them kick the crap out of Scarlet Brotherhood members, and I just felt like it the one adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, you used the info from the Gord books, and
I did, and
give them a shellacking. That's good.
Absolutely. But it's in ruins. I use my Wolfmaster Keep setup is the same one I use for that. So, and if I was super better prepared, I would have had all these adventures sublinked and then put up pictures. So that's way too much work. On a weekend, it's way too much work, but I may be able to find some. But there's Strain Keep Castle, and then these two are Order of Ulick well out there, Watchers Towers, right out in the middle of nowhere. It's like why not? Run by some of the dwarves, and I did an entire scenario campaign setting for them. It's got to be 4 years ago. And some of those are some of the best pictures. I mean, the carnage on that was awesome. I'll find some of those. I will find some of those event pictures. But yeah, this is an area that, and then as you go in further, we've done a lot of I love the Twisted Forest. We've done a lot of recent adventuring in the Twisted Forest. This Tower of the Heavens is from one of the UK adventures. When a Star Falls. It's there. That's where that is. So you have a lot of you want to talk about this is definitely the in my campaign a Borderlands /skirmish zone. There's always fighting going on. There's always raiding going on. In fact, when we did and Fritz was part of this group. So when Fritz started adventuring or made the character up and he got conscripted here and they were all first level, they started adventuring. I know the number of this. It's like 842. Let me bring the picture up for this. See, this is the crazy thing. I remember roughly the adventure number. So I think that's got to be on D. One sec. D. Twitch shows old. 842. Oh, good. Must be on my other machine because this only goes up to 9. Let me just type in Bulwark and see if it pops up. Nope. Well, that's not working. It used to be on my front page. Yeah. So all the older, I only go up to 962 here. It's on the computer downstairs. Well, that sucks. Let me go to A. Let me type in Bulwark here. Yeah, I thought I had, but I don't. That's the thing with having multiple streaming machines too. Bulwark. Nope. No pics of it. Darn.
You have to make sure you tag them. So you have...
Yeah. What's up, Tim? I know, Tim. I know. Tim was so upset I didn't rip anyone's tongue out on Saturday. I tried. I know, Tim. The tongue
have a
tools aren't working.
Tim, you have to give him a better tongue tool.
No,
Yep.
Tim just wants me to be more vile with the players and not give
Yeah,
you
you have to
know.
be tough. Yeah.
Well, they did some smart moves. They did. So
I shouldn't help all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Winchester's Bulwark is here. During the course of adventuring, we did an adventure, and I remember this. This is like May, June, July, August. 4 months into our streaming. Tim wants me to do one more, Tim. What's up, Enoch? 4 months into our streaming, we did the assault on Winchester's Bulwark. It was 4 live stream sessions. It's the first time, and Tom had just come back. It was high level characters, and there's fires, and the place got, walls got destroyed and all. And it was a lot of fun. But I said from that, I'm going to do first level adventuring. So we did, and we did a lot of adventuring with those characters. Well, what happened was there was an Arithmal army, and the Arithmal army came from here, right? And that was how we were going to do this. That's how we're going to play the Hidden Temple of Arithmal, which we placed here. Now, Rich Diolia hates it's placed here, even though it says even though it says specifically in there that it was in the Sus, right? Because it says that a merchant who was traveling in the Sus got captured, right? Because you rescue that guy. So yeah, it specifically says in the Sus, but we won't.
And he didn't like the placement.
He likes to play. Well, it doesn't matter. You and I placed it perfectly. So that Arithmal army got scattered, and it was all there's some remnants of it all throughout, hiding out in the forest, hiding out in areas. So they, for a couple of years after, they're always fighting Arithmal army members. So yeah, it was a fun time. It was good, and the adventures still go on to this day on it. So Tim, I'm holding off on talking about this battle site until you get on, because you will remember it specifically. And then look, we've developed some of the area here. I don't know, Gomel is a town from, that's not mine, but Forge Run, Junction Blockhouse, that's all my locations. So we're getting a little more in that area. I haven't had a map update in like 2.5 years. We're gonna have to do something soon. Here comes Epic Realms. Wow, thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. We're talking Borderlands Skirmish Zones in our campaigns. Please sit tight, enjoy. Exclamation point drawing if you want to get in the giveaway. Wait a minute, let me shout that out here. There you go. Yep. All right. If you want to have some fun, we're going to be giving away probably either, if you're new, you'll get the 5th edition of World of Greyhawk Gazetteer revised. Or if you want something older, we can go with Roger Moore's Greyhawk The Adventure Begins. Or if you want a bunch of adventures, Treasures of Greyhawk, another great one. So we got some good stuff here for you. All reprints. So yeah, these were fun times, and we need to go back to it a little bit more. Anna, I just so the group's like 7th, 8th level now. So I started them off at first, and it's been like I started them, I want to say the summer to the fall after that. So if that was 2019, those characters have been around 6 years of real time. What's up, Curtis? Yeah, I'm talking about Curtis. I'm talking about how Fritz came about. So, and of the 3 NPCs, I just came up with this idea. I'm going to have a black sheep of the Winchester family. He's been in jail for 2 years. In order to get out, he makes a deal that gets conscripted to go here, help rebuild the Winchester's Bulwark, and do all the adventures that he's told. But he flees multiple times, tries to get away, and that's that was part of the fun part. Yeah, the jailhouse years, absolutely, and it was good because remember, we West Marches style it, so everyone had 3 characters, and you played from a pool. Like Tom had Thomas Jr., the son of Tom the Vindicator. He also had Kren, who's a half ogre, fighter, and there was a lot of fun characters in that group, and they still are to this day. Enoch, I got you afterwards, no problem. Get you back in that VIP there, and yeah, so that is the area of the Pomarge, and we ran a lot of adventures with that group into the Hidden Temple of Arithmal when they were like 4th and 5th, and actually did it, and that's from Vortex magazine number 8, very difficult one to find. In fact, Alan Crowley kind of connected us with it before I got it off the magazine. So, yeah, because we were looking for it, and that's how we made it in with Reaper. Anna was the art design work saw my posts on it, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're
Cool.
running GREYHAWK. And I said, I said to him, yeah. And I said, hey, by the way, I'm trying to reach out to you. And that's how that happened. That's how the partnership with Reaper came about, was from that adventure. So yeah, Anna placed it there, and that is the area, and that is a major skirmish zone, considering the slavers' headquarters is here. All the humanoid tribes that Anna's put in all over the place. This is a very nasty location.
They are primarily done by GREYHAWK Rognard, Joe Block. Yeah.
Yeah, but you put them on the map.
Oh yeah. He did a map for the Sea Pomartian die, and then I took it from there and then elaborated in. I got some background materials that was not in the original article that was given to me, and that was supposed to be added later for the Living GREYHAWK, but never got in there, so to speak. That was given by others. So that is in there too. So there's a couple of more tribes, and on the latest version, there's a couple of ones that made it in that I missed the first one. So there was a few that I added
cool.
like a couple of years ago. There were a couple of more ones that were added. Yep.
Yeah, it's they got a lot of their heraldry here. It's cool.
Yep.
And then Anna
Some of the earliest
page.
heraldry I did, yep, was these I did back 20 years ago. Yep.
You will see Lord Page's lackey at the joust probably again this year. Like, he shows up every year. Let's see who's playing him this year. But yeah, so there you go. That's a big skirmish zone for an area of Borderlands, because it wasn't developed back in 1980. There's nothing along this entire length. Thunderstrike is not here. Nothing's here. They don't exist. None of those locations. In fact, if you run all the way up, these locations here, up here in Patriots of Ulick, so in the second edition area, they don't exist until later on as well. So this whole area of Principality of Ulick is barren. I think you have Haven Hill and Garirax.
Yeah.
And the Gradsel's on the other side. And that's it.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Just those two locations. Yeah. Yes. And there's the ever mysterious Tim, who'll be joining us shortly.
Thunderstrike, is that on the, hang on a second, now I need to
Thunderstrike is on what map?
I'm going to see if it's on Darlene map.
No, definitely not. Nope. I wouldn't put outpost number 1 that close to it if it was.
No, exactly, it's not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I have these. I wonder if I can find these. Hold on. Yeah, I should have become better prepared. The only time I've ever made it's probably under maps. Let me go to here. Try this. I've made 2 maps myself. I took Darlene's map, used old Corel Draw, and blew it up. Let me go here. I know I have these on this machine. Just need to find them. Maybe not. All right, here it is. Yeah. So that shows you how old. There, and look, I drew the roads in with pencil because I wasn't that good. Erased stuff, yeah, redid the names just so they weren't that big. But look, Altamira's on this map.
And you put Gryrax on the eastern side of that peninsula.
Yeah.
Then it was later placed on the western side, and I simply gambled because it was slightly more to the west than to the east.
Yeah. Agatha Thrunch, NPC awarding. BB, what's that question from? Yeah, he's from Morty King's Fantastic Adventure. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and that's as you can see, they weren't even named. The White Tower, Herbie, Garth, Andrea. That's where they're replacing their keeps. They weren't called anything at that yet, and we had to figure out the names. So this has got to be. I want to say, I did this map when was Corel Draw in its prime? 90?
No, it was prime about late 90, about 1990s, about 2000.
All right, so that
Yeah,
between 95 and 2000, I did this.
yeah. Then
I
Corel
did
Draw
this
was
map.
really in
Yeah,
its heyday. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So,
still going strong though, or strong, but it's still there,
but
and it's
one of the maps
yeah.
I've ever edited of Darlene's, and just it worked for me
Hmm.
back.
Yeah. Oh, I used it for years. I'm
Yeah,
still thinking I liked it better than Illustrator in a lot of sense. It was very easy to work with. The problem was that
yep.
they didn't support 64 bits as well as
Oh, okay,
Adobe did. That was the reason I switched back in the day. Yeah.
okay. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, a little different in resolution than than this map. So, all right, Anna, where do you want to talk about?
Well, we have my main I've run I think 3 campaigns that I would consider skirmish have a lot of skirmish in them, and the first one was the when we played out the GREYHAWK Wars in Furundi back in the day. That's the first one that was a lot of skirmish games. That
Mhm.
was very much a skirmish. It was like a military going from battle to battle, small ones and
Right.
raiding behind enemy lines. That was my first taste foray into that, and that we played that out in the late 1990s, in the late 90s, before third edition. So it was a second edition campaign. And that was my first kind of real taste of skirmish games. And to me, it became instead of doing dungeon adventuring, it was a bit like overland dungeon adventures where each of these skirmish sites were like a mini dungeon, but outside. So it was kind of that was like one room in a dungeon, so to speak. You moved from area to area, or sometimes from battle, you defeated the enemy or you fled from them, and then there was another enemy or something coming, and so it was like a string of encounters.
Oops.
So just like it would be in a dungeon, but it's overland instead. So in that sense, I see it very much like a variant of dungeon play, but overland, so to speak,
Well,
instead.
and it's not easy doing large scale wars fighting. It's just not. Even battle systems tough if you don't know what you're doing.
Hmm.
It's tough to do.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's why I developed what I called surrounding battles.
right.
That was house rules we used, and I'm developing a new version of that for Hawk Tales as well. So you can, meaning I had detailed rules for everything that the characters were involved in, and then you had
Mhm.
super simple combat for everything else. And that was, and you also have like minions, and you can use like dice pools for a lot of monsters. So if you want to have, when you start having tens of enemies or more, then you start using minions or dice pools. So that makes it a lot easier to handle large part of. But all the enemies that aren't involved in any spell casting or combat with the characters, you don't even need that. You can just do super simple, aggregate them together and just let them battle it out. That was how I did it. So you
Cool.
had background scenes, so to speak.
Hey, John.
But a lot of times, skirmish, meaning it could be that the characters are sneaking around, skulking around in the countryside, either trying to avoid combat at all cost, or the opposite, trying to find the enemy and root them out, depending on the situation, so to
Mhm.
speak. Meaning sometimes the characters are a group going behind enemy lines and it trying to avoid confrontation is the name of the game. So combat is the last resort because that can stir in trouble, so to speak. Or it might be the other way around, that you are the operating on your side of the lines and you're looking for enemies that are kind of sneaking into your area or going around and causing trouble. So you're the ones that have to run around trying to instigate and get flush them out and get them to find them and then defeat them, so to speak, or defeat them or get them on the run so they run back home again and not being a problem, so to speak. So in some ways it's fun when it's a combination of the two. So I like skirmish games where you can sometimes be wildly powerful and overbearing. So it's more like getting the enemy to either they will run immediately, so you have to kind of lure them in a trap, or you can have the fun of basically annihilate them or get them on the run. So it's easy going sometimes, and then you should run into enemy doing the opposite to you, so to speak. If you're not wary and do your reconnaissance and stuff, then you can end up in trouble when their enemy is really powerful. So in my campaigns and my games, it has been recon and understanding the enemy and get a feel for them is equally important. Don't just run in and start fighting and then we'll see how it goes, because that can be really dangerous. So sometimes it's
Yep.
also about picking the right battles, which one to fight and which one to avoid, so to speak. So to have that idea of using, and also when to spend all your resources, meaning should I burn all the spells and stuff like that now, or should I wait for it just in case it gets worse down the line? That's one of these tactical or almost strategic decisions for the game that can mean win or lose. Either win this one and lose the next one, that it might be the decisive one. So these things are part of taking a risk, taking a gamble, but it should be kind of an informed gamble. So to understand your enemy, to know your enemy, and also my encounters usually start at a long distance. You often, if you do good recon, you place yourself well and so on, you get a chance to see the enemy maybe a mile or two away if you're really lucky. And that means that you can pick when to battle and or if to battle and when to do it, and you can choose formation and stuff, or the vice versa. You're the one stumbling in on the enemy side and all of a sudden you're in for the fight of your life out in the open field. So there is a lot of this stuff that you can be, in my opinion, more varied than a dungeon, and
Oh yeah.
in some sense. So I love that, but I can totally get it. It's easy when you have a theater of the mind, draw things on a piece of plastic with Sharpies or dry erase markers. You have, like, I have a main map and then I can just draw whatever distance. So I don't have to worry about it. If you have a fixed game table, then you need to know or design, okay, these are the areas of interest. The same thing in a VTT, that are a bit like a game table, like a digital game table, where I have this map and you can't really just take a place at random, because then it would be boring. Then it needs to fit the map, so to speak. And that can be a little bit tricky. You have to, as a GM, you have to kind of pick
Well,
your battles,
well,
so
you
to
have to.
speak.
Yeah, a lot of stuff would
Yeah,
be scenario based in that instance.
yeah,
That's the way to do
yeah,
it. That's the way you have to do it in those cases.
yeah.
Is
So
or have
play
options or have
style,
options
yes,
on the table.
exactly. So your play style would dictate to some degree how
Hmm.
you play
Hey
things
Rick,
like this. Yeah.
what's going on, man?
Hello.
Hopefully your publication's doing well on drive through.
Yeah, I'm going to get a copy. Yep.
Excellent. Well, since
Yep.
we're here, let's go to
hmm
this one. And this is one of the biggest skirmish zones of all, and that's the Vespi, the
Yeah.
Vespi
hmm
Forest. Yep. Thanks, man, for linking it. So, yep, Tim.
And forest is cool because that brings down the viewing distance, so you can stumble in on
Oh yeah,
enemy closer, so to speak. And it also minimize or kind of eliminates a lot of the use of mounts. And flying creatures get a lot worse because they can't see you well, they can't attack you and fly through trees and stuff. So
yeah.
vegetation and forest is a really cool game changer, so to speak, in that sense, that changes things.
It is such a huge area, and
Oh
we
yeah.
have Eleanor, Bill's character, found an old, ancient, ruined keep and fixed it up, the Eagle's Nest, and that's way out here. I mean, it's the most remote location for the order out of anything, as you can see. Way, way out of the way. But Qualston's not that far from there, so and then you get the realm of the Timeless Tree. We've done a lot of adventuring here, where, of course, it's a lot of faction-based adventuring, where you have Knights of the High Forest working with them against, you know, monsters and hey Star and Iusian orcs and the great and orogs. And the great thing is that you know, within certain areas of the forest, I'd say probably on the eastern reaches, you have, you know, and up through the Beastman Forest, you have the Fellowship, not the Fellowship of the Torch, my God, the Torch of Groomsh, which is another faction. They're indigenous orcs to the Vespi, and they hate the Iusian orcs. So the enemy, my enemy is my friend. They kind of allied with the Groomsh orcs for the time being, because they all want the Iusian orcs out, and that's a fun little crazy little mix up there, which I like dealing with. And then the Defiled Glades is another area um, that we love. This is a 576 base map, so Anna had to superimpose it back over, if I recall, when you did that. So
Yep.
because it didn't exist then. But you know, there's the Druid Grove there. Haven't gone back there in a while. A lot of adventuring in the Defiled Glades. One of three known now. It's three known Old Faith. This is how much I don't delve into Faith anywhere near as much as Anna does. But like they are.
This was for my Shieldlands campaign was the first time I really did a
Okay.
deep dive. Yeah, for the Devon campaign, they were almost irrelevant, so to speak. They were not much because that's the old Great Kingdom's core area, so there wasn't much
Patrick.
Flan culture left. So there I didn't have to dig for it. But that was one of the reasons I wanted to, one of several reasons I wanted to pick Shieldlands, because this is the fringes of the Great Kingdom. So
Yeah.
now there is
Okay.
plenty of more Flan stuff to be had. So that was part of the draw, so to speak.
By the way, everyone, it is September. It started up, so I don't need to do any of the
Yeah,
special discounts because you got them all the whole time.
cool.
So one of three tattoo artwork artists, druid types that can, you know, imbue your character with a tattoo magic, which I think is really neat. And I use the Relic and Rituals rules, Relic and Rituals 1 and 2. And so she lives in the Defiled Glades, and they've gone in there and tattooed themselves up. And there's one, and another one known in the Cairn Hills, and then there's rumored to be one somewhere in the Sus as well. So yeah, and those. So we have a lot of fun in that area, a lot of fighting and combat. We did a mega adventure. My God, I don't know what year it was. I'm thinking 88 or 89. When we went to Mark's place in Ohio, which is all in the Vespi. It's a huge Vespi adventure path. It was fun. That was a long time ago. Yeah, but another cool area to utilize. Patrick, thanks. So all right, so you got Fear Andy. What was your second or third one? Anna, you do Shieldlands last.
But second is Shieldlands. That's and the third one will be the next coming, but I would probably even deeper into skirmishes, and that will be my Elven campaign.
Okay.
Celine over through the Sheldamore Valley. Celine Sus. I will definitely go back to Temple of Elemental Evil for that one too. That for fun, so to speak. So that will be Celine, Sus Forest, and then over on the western side, maybe even all the way over to Dim Forest and the Valley of the Mage.
Well,
That's
a large
yeah.
area.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm going to and because that's something I plan to start playing in like 3 years time from now,
Okay.
I think. So I'm having plenty of time to, but it's something I'm prepping plot ideas and stuff like that for. So I'm doing my background research on those parts. So there will be a
Cool.
lot of skirmish in that. I intend to, and I hope that will be, I can play that as a full going from first level to 20th level and
Wow.
an Elven campaign. That's the goal, to see if I can bring it all the way up, so to speak, so
Wow.
we can tackle some of the really big
First to
enemies
20th.
of the Elvendom at the end, so to speak. Yeah. So we can have try out some fun stuff. My Shieldlands campaign will not regularly would not hit that level, so the rules aren't really ready. I'm testing it out now for a virtual Greyhawk on with some high level play, just to see how it works, so to speak.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. When you're fully retired there, Curtis, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
partially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge area. But
That's good. Yeah.
okay, we can get back to discussing that when
So,
to,
so Shieldlands is, I think, was for me a great coming of age of because it is really Borderlands
yeah,
and
yeah,
skirmishes. Because now Shieldlands is an area that both sides are wary of each other. They've had basically worn each other down. So now it's IU's is holding on, and Shieldlands is now building strength again.
yeah.
And it's the Shieldlands now have the momentum. They just regained the momentum again in my campaign. So it's she's starting to Katarina is or reorganize it. She's having more support from others, and IU's is now he needs to reorder things on his end, which is harder for him because he has less, both more control, but on the other hand, he also has more stubborn subordinates who don't. No one wants to be in the front and fight the new things, so to speak. So they're also so he has more problems, right? He has more strength than Shieldlands, but he also have more problems. So
Well,
they
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so we have it. But on the other hand, he's starting to counter it by building a new capital at Hallorn or regional center. He wants to be at Hallorn up in the north there. Go east. The
Oh,
little
okay.
town of Hallorn there
Huh.
is he's turning that into a city.
Hmm.
And for two reasons. One is that he wants to it's centrally located in his empire, so he can keep an eye on every direction, and it's also much further south, so he can have a bastion of strength closer to where the fighting is at the Borderlands. Doraka and Molag and others are further away from where he wants the action to be at the moment. So, and it's partially shielded behind. It's hard to get to. You have to kind of go around over war fields and stuff. So
Where
it's
the
not that
tentacles
easy.
are impassable, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That kind of, yeah. And also from the north, it means that you have to go around the whole shebang. So
Huh.
he can have a base of strength that is partially shielded, so to speak, and that he can start building. And then he has a demographics issue and stuff. So he's trying to build strength there. But so now it's more like who can be most effective, go on the offensive, who can build strength strongest and stuff. So that's part of the new
Okay.
fun. Yep.
Yeah, and for me, it's I think they've recaptured more terrain than in yours. It goes all the
Mm-hmm.
way up to Homer's Hold and
Oh
Walrus
yeah.
Crossing. It's like a
Yep.
thumb. It's like a middle finger. Just
Yep.
runs right smack dab in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant Fork, and a lot of this has been these like Radiant Fork especially. It's been reclaimed by um, Theocracy of the Pale People, because the Pale People aren't afraid
Uh-huh.
of the Iusians. They aren't afraid of the Shieldlanders either. So they're going in and they're just there's
Mm-hmm.
swaths of land open.
Yeah,
Uh,
Katarina in my campaign has done raids deep. She's gone to the coast, put together like 500 or 1,000 people, and they have gone raided in quickly and then got picked up again and got in and out. And she also has what now, because before the skies were IU's, especially at night. He had Pazuzu with all his flying demons and stuff. So IU's used to own the skies. That has Katarina has dragons and stuff on her side now. So IU's doesn't own the skies, not even at night anymore, because now she's being challenged. And but then there are others who want to have a saying on things, because I use one of the reasons he built Hellorn in there was that he had an understanding with the local lord of that part of the world, that Morgenstaller. But that is now starting to be creaky, because Morgenstaller is asking for more, or he will because he's starting to use IUs, because he was like, okay, you can come here and you can build your city near my domain, and then once the building started, he's starting to ask for more and more, and IUs realized that maybe it
oh,
wasn't
interesting.
such a good, yeah. So it's kind of a two evils trying to extort each other, and both from a sign of both strengths and weaknesses, so to speak. Morgensthaler can be a big nuisance for Ayus, but he's not strong enough to wipe him out. On the other hand, Ayus doesn't really want to spend a lot of resources going out to find Morgenstahler's lair and kill him outright, because that will be really difficult for him too. So they are kind of a stalemate, and but Ayus thought in his day of strength that Morgenstahler would, of course, succumb to his big mighty, but no, he didn't.
Okay.
So that is now one of these kind of misdirections a bit, or miscalculations on IU's part, so to speak. But on the other hand, Katarina has no love for Morgenstahler and vice versa. So they are the same thing. They are also skirmishing each other dragon style to see if who could win, so to speak. And they're kind of equal strength, but Morgenstahler is starting to get scared because Katarina is starting to get the upper hand on that one. So she might be the one sending out to go for him. But on the other hand, Morgenstahler is good to have where he is because he's a nuisance to Ayus. So she doesn't want to take him out or chase him away, even if she could. So it's become like a triangular drama there, so to speak. And that's part of the fun because I wanted the characters. That was one of the missions. They can go up there to investigate Morgenstahler and up in the White Plume Mountain and see what's going on there as a recon mission or going. That was my high level when they're like 12th, 14th level or something.
Dragoth's not even far from there.
Exactly, that's the thing, and she's the secret sauce in this because she is using Morgenstahler as her pawn, and have started to figure that out too. So that was one of the other reasons he wanted to be there because he didn't want Dragotha to start encroaching, taking over his empire. So he needs to fight them both if need be. And Dragotha is strong, but she, even with Morgenstahler and stuff, so she's assembling as much as she can too. So it's becoming a kind of a, yeah, eventually that will blow off and or blow up into something, but we'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of my fun, so to speak. And in my campaign, Dragotha is a demi-lich, a Draco demi-lich. She's not a Draco lich anymore. She's a Draco demi-lich,
Interesting.
which means that she's even more powerful in some ways, and she acts through Morgenstahler and others. So yeah.
Here comes the ever mysterious Tim.
Oh,
What's going on,
Hey,
man?
hello.
Your game is full for Virtual GreyHawk.
cool.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely will be a blast. So,
There will be chaos.
there will be chaos. This audience says hello to you. Um, so we're just talking Shieldlands here, but now that you're on, we're gonna pop back to the Pomarsh area. So, yeah, a lot of fun things have up here. Uh, I kind of got away from running in the Shieldlands and let it be for a while. We've done a lot of it. We did a lot of adventuring. The Legion has their Warmark keep and Kinset Mansion. That's I believe a dungeon adventure. Both there, I placed them there, and then you got the Shield Reclaimed here from Bastion of Faith, running up, and then with a lot of locations.
Shieldlands are so needy.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Lots of destroyed areas and all. I think one of the we've done one of the last major adventures we did was when we recovered the sword of Ansanther right at Gradivus Estate. It's been that long, so that Pelennor has. I haven't touched Ringland at all, but running it up, and that's where we ended it there. So, but let's go. Let's see what Tim remembers.
Uh-oh.
Tim,
Uh-oh.
do you remember the Battle of the Decapitated Dwarf Prince?
Oh,
What era are we talking about?
Early 80s, man.
Okay, so this is where Floorman died?
No, that's not where Floorman died. Floorman
Okay.
died in the final retaking of Wales Castle in the
Oh,
Monty
wait,
Hall
I know he
days.
died, but I couldn't remember the
Yes. where it
So,
was where
is that the
Tativa,
that's is
that was
that
so Monty Hall. I don't even talk about it on the stream. That Tativos and Despater took over the keep.
We all
once.
have that period, so don't be
Yes.
ashamed. We all
I
gone through
smack him
it.
down. I give him a smackdown.
Yep.
Yeah, Macarash Tativos and Despater himself showed up first time.
I
Only
put
time.
Macarash out of commission, and one of the other player idiots, Jay, baited him, and they just
That
kind
was a
of
couple years later.
don't get me started.
I've told that story multiple times. Whatever you do, don't read this book, knowing that those guys are going to do it. Read it. Yeah. So this is the legend goes here that during when the Hateful Wars ended and the Pomarge was overtaken, the Prince of Ulick's son took a force across the river to try and recapture some of the land.
Yep.
And
Hang on a sec. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah, sure, Anna. Didn't get very far, and on top there was like a stone like slab in the middle, and in the middle of there, his head got chopped off and rolled all around on the plateau, and the ghost haunted the place to this day. And when you guys got there to have a fight, it actually you could, it's kind of like Lord of the Rings. Like, remember, this is well before the damn movies are out. You could see the battle. If you stopped at a certain time of the moons and stuff, you saw the battle. You saw the prince standing on the top of the slab and all. Yeah. So we're probably in high school.
With or without his head?
Without his head, until I think you located something. Man, my guess is this is 83 or 84. This is a guess. And then you recovered. It was you and Walt and Mark, I think.
Well, who did I have?
Galahad, Galahad. No, that crew.
He's a good choice.
Yeah, back then. Yeah, it was that long ago. Yeah, a long time ago. So, but that's what that location is on the map. Because we didn't have any of the others. So we had outposts, and Tim
So
remembers.
was that a skirmish area or just a borderland area?
Yeah, both. And Tim remembers though the first ever adventure he played. Battle of Outpost number 1.
Battle of Outpost number 1.
Yep.
The adventuring party and 50 pikemen.
That's it. The pikemen were a diversion.
Poor guys.
Did any of them survive?
2.
They were all in red shirts.
2. Wow.
2 of them. And one, and one became for a while became a popular NPC. But then I was told I was making too much fun of someone, so I had to stop. Remember?
Really?
His last name was Henry, Henri Corum, Corum. Don't you remember? Yes. So I got two red shirts. Yeah.
They retired. We retired them with dignity, so they have a living, so they can.
Yeah, I was told I was really being mean, so I stopped.
Well, who said that you were being mean?
Well, you should make fun of Mark's older brother like that.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, I know. And I stopped myself. Come on, this is the 80s, man. It was like I'm 15, 16 years old. Yeah, long time ago. But yeah, those were the days. So that was adventure number 1 out of 1131. But yes, you're remembering that that one where the fight was going on in Wells Castle. In the keep. Yeah. Long time ago. And Floorman was a Monty character anyway.
Yeah. I had to make him up super high level to fit in.
Yeah, he was like 21st or 22nd level paladin.
Yes.
Those were the days.
He was like your superhero paladin.
Yep.
Yes, let us go and slay some dragons.
Exactly.
Well, the dragons had like 99 hit points or something.
They didn't have a lot of hit points back then, so
yeah.
Monty.
Lord Flormond.
Yep. And then
he has a nice mausoleum and a big statue to
Yeah.
In his memory.
And Skeeve is still around. The other character he had in that. So there you go.
Concocting all sorts of things.
Those were the days. So yeah, I just wanted to discuss that if you had any memories of that. I know Walt does. He talks about it sometimes. Yeah. But once again, I had I don't know who the hell Orland Stan Corond is, because it's from 1980 to 1982. There are no names of anyone, right? And that didn't come out to 83. So yeah.
The name of who?
The Prince of Ulick.
And that guy's a tool.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because
Exactly.
it's the early 80s. He's a fighter thief. So I'm thinking to myself, he's probably underhand. Why is he a thief? Right?
Well, he's good with money.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Mhm.
a fighter thief. So
Yeah.
He commits fraud is probably what he does.
yeah. So that's where it went. So
But yeah, you'd
those
think that somebody as a dwarf shouldn't be a thief because dwarves are supposed to be,
No, but they are.
have some
They are.
honor.
I guess it might also be that he needs to be very good at appraising and keep an eye on everything, so it doesn't get stolen, and to know who to hire to get more of it. So yeah.
I think he's just a corrupt politician as usual. So he's a thief.
Yeah. Yeah.
there you go. He's
But
not a hero in our game at all.
Yeah, we
No.
hate that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the
Mhm.
Order of Ulick and him do not get along. In fact, when the charter was
Oh, cool.
signed,
So
for mutual protection between all the Ulick states and
Mhm.
Selene, the
so
prince
did
didn't
you?
sign it.
Yeah. Did you? So was it just called the Prince before, and then he got the name, or did you change the
Prince
name?
Dorak the second.
Ah, okay.
And his son was
Mhm.
Durain, the one that got killed there, and
Mhm.
that was before we knew what the
All
name was.
in.
So we're
Yeah.
names.
We all had alibis when he got killed.
Yeah. So Tim, I'm going to go to another site. Let's see if I get you to stroke out here. The estate of Lord Page outside of Highport.
Yes, we don't skirmish there much if we can avoid it. No skirmishing there.
Yes. Probably the highest level cavalier in my campaign. Yeah. So
Yeah, I tried. I had a high level mage, and I shape changed. It's a 9th level spell, so figure it out. It's high level, and I was a pixie, so they're naturally invisible, and I was hiding in his estate. I was
yeah, in his
scouting
bedroom.
and sneaking around. Well, I had snuck in there, and he walked in. He goes, "Oh, another mage to teach a lesson to." Urgh.
Right.
Yeah.
And then because he has a final word sword, he automatically hits.
Only if I attack, right?
Oh yeah, but still, you get 3 attacks per round.
I
Plus
did not attack.
Plus the bonus attack. So yeah, you got the hell
I
out of there.
didn't attack.
Yep.
Uh,
So there you
I
go.
fled immediately because this was not the right time. I want to fight on my time and place of choosing.
Yep. But he did steal his wife.
Well, yeah.
She had.
I'm way nicer than he was.
Well, absolutely. CAC neutral, 19th level CAC neutral cavalier. That was at the time.
Selfish jerk.
Yeah.
My guy's nice.
Yeah, that's another one there. So, all right. Let's go
Our
up.
kids are really smart.
Yes. Yes, they are. Well, one of them's a serial killer, fortunately.
No, and she's not. She just hired people to do it.
It's even worse.
Totally different.
So let's talk. Anna's talking about doing stuff in Selene, and
You always
and
protect the ones you love, Jay. You protect the ones you love.
I'm gonna have this is try. Yes, I understand that. I agree. Except your band, which you just walked right out into the beach. Let's see if I can get Tim really scarred here. Tell us, and this is a long time ago, the Battle of South Welkwood Bridge.
South Walkwood Bridge.
It's Welkwood, actually. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
Welkwood.
It's Welkwood. What
Oh, we have to.
happened there?
Mhm.
The very first encounter
Oh
you ever had, and
no, this was not Phuket.
yeah, it was the very first time.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yes, you did the first time. So, a Dark Brotherhood with the Dark Brotherhood, who's the whole area of the Welkwood and the Sus is a skirmish zone for
He was
me.
an illusionist assassin, right?
Yeah, no illusionist assassin. Yes, yep. Which is allowed when Anarchicana came out, and I saw that combination, I was ecstatic. Because you all know how nasty illusion spells are, and a gnome that can radiate non-detection and all the other stuff. It's a beautiful mix, right?
Is it?
It is. It was a beautiful mix. And so that there was a big battle at that site. The
Well,
Dark Brotherhood was, trying to cut off Selenian's trade into the Welkwood and up into the Wild Coast. And
Phuket luckily, our interactions with him is when I was so young. Because if I was now and having that happen, I'd probably have heart problems. I'd be like, my blood pressure would go so high. I would be jumping across the table to slap you. I'd be like, yeah.
So they basically what happened was they had him cornered at the end of this fight on the bridge, and what happened? Do you remember how he got
He
away?
did a
Swain
he
did
did,
it. Mark's
huh?
character. Mark's character did a sleek version of the ice storm spell, right? And he fell
Yeah.
off the bridge and went down the river, and he got away that way. Yeah. And then from that point on, everything's history. 20 years of torment after that. Yeah. But so we had a lot of fun with all along here, the Sus coming in from Anna, the Sus Forest raiding into southern Selene, which is definitely we're gonna talk about a skirmish zone and Borderlands. This is it right here.
He might have killed him with just the damaging one.
Yeah. That was Mark was a couple years younger than us, so if I was 17 when we ran that, and Mark was 14, right? Come on, give the guy a break.
I'll never forgive you for that.
But yeah, this is forest here. This is all developed. A lot of these areas are like some of these Hyloran Jewelites are from a Living GREYHAWK adventure, but everything else is mine here. Carwood's here, but who lives in Lightning Rod Tower, Tim?
A very handsome wizard named Fensig.
Yes. Yep. He lives
Not
there.
not high charisma, but he is not bad looking. But
Right. And Anna's actually adventured with him during the first fundraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Fencing and Luve in there. So, yep.
I was the one standing in the back with all those protection spells on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he always those are good stories, guys. And I don't want to reminisce too much, but back in the day when we did the adventure, when we went down to Fairfax, Virginia to see Marco for a weekend. And this is how Altamira came to be. I'll tell you the quick story. It's in the preface of the Altamira book. I ran the end of Temple of Mental Evil. We finished it up down there. It was the final fourth level ending of Temple of Mental Evil. The next day, Tim runs his Knights of the Eastern Sun thing.
Yeah.
And he does this two dragon heads in the opening, and they both breathe. Well, they were illusions, and no one figured it out. Everyone dies.
Yeah, the phantasmal forces.
Everyone dies but Fensik and Gazumba. Everyone dies that quick. So I had to figure out. I mean, so that adventure went a lot faster. Hey, Rick, good to see you, man. So Anna, I had to figure out what we're gonna do, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go into this area, and finally we're gonna land clear here, this area here, and because we want to build our own town on the map.
We want to build a Cavalier training site.
That's
how it started.
3 keeps, yep. And that's how Altamira came about, because Tim killed everyone except for with an NPC and Gazumba in the second round of the fight.
Yeah.
Yes. Just like Shower Guy. Jay Escapes is the only one. I step in shit all the time, Curtis. That's what everyone says. I just do all the time. But yeah, that was a fun story.
I was like, really? You guys aren't even going to try to disbelieve? You think I would start an adventure doing this? But apparently they did think that I would do that.
We were all drinking a lot, if you recall.
I do not recall that.
Yes, you do. You were drinking Foster's. You were drinking the big Foster's can.
Foster's Lager. It's Australian for beer, mate.
I was drinking Kirini Shibans, and it was yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tom was the only one. This is how old. This is how long ago it was. Tom was the only one who was 21 at the time and could go into the supermarket in Virginia and get the beer.
Yeah.
He was the only one. That's how I. Oh my God! And I'm 58 now. I can't. So we're talking about something that's 38 years ago, 38, 39 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are the things. Yeah. Yeah, the other one that came into big cans, B-Town, was Melbourne Bitter, if you remember that one. It was like a pink can. Pink or red. Yeah, it was Melbourne Bitter was the other one. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then let's go to a Tim zone. So I got a little bit of Hawk and Gazumba adventuring back in the day. over here, right? In ID, which has always been like, with all the stuff that's going on and all the fighting and the conquering and the Eva the Undying and all. Yeah, Tim would DM, and this was the area where we played in, was ID on that side of the map. There was
Because that's where they're from, right?
Yeah, that was where your characters were from, ID. Yeah, which is a long way off, and that's where your Cavalier Knights of the Eastern Sun and all that. They were basically, it's before we knew what like was going on with. They were live, not we weren't using Death Knights, we weren't using Doom Knights yet. Even though the Doom Knights were in the article, it was Tim's old Cavaliers were the thing back, guys, in the 80 from 85 on, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted the Knights of the Eastern Sun were elvish but lawful evil.
Yeah.
From the far, far east.
Yeah. And they wrote
Road dragons.
Gem dragons.
Well, those did, yeah.
From Dragon. You need to know what all the Gem Dragon breaths were. So that was fun. Yeah, so that was a big skirmish zone for us back in the day. We never ever went into Iron Gate or the Iron Hills. It was always in the surrounding lands of ID playing. Yeah. When we were playing on the map there. That's before Tim started City State adventuring.
Yeah. I have a number of character ideas for Leuven's for nephews and stuff.
Good. That'll be fun.
He never married, doesn't have his own kids, so
he's an adventurer, so he has a career.
You can always pull a an Emerson Winchester III Fritz thing where he just spawn everywhere.
Yeah. You
can always do that.
He had that one night with that one pretty lady and lost the level.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I know.
A Hobbit Cambion, is that possible?
Yeah, I guess
anything back in the day is possible. He's still higher level than Sam. That's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters.
By the way, I let Alan use Sam adventuring, and he's short by like 2,000 experience points, and he gave me a rash of shit about it. And I was like, you can't go up and level, because if you do, I got to raise Leuven by a level. So yes, so you were short. You didn't have enough experience. Yeah. Because he wants to be like, he wants to be the same level. So, all right, Anna. Your thoughts on like the SUS, because the SUS doesn't touch Celine that much.
It depends on where you draw the border, so to speak, and the nature. But I have it more like the elves have managed to they keep a control of it, so the all the bad influence that is in the sus forest doesn't come closer. That's one I have it, that meaning there is a lot of Fey influence all the way from the sus all the way up to the Vesvi and through Celine and through Veluna and up, but they kind of they used a lot of it originally, and then it's been settled and it's been then pulled to the pushed away to the fringes. And Sus is where the dark side of the Fae, meaning almost down to the Shadowfell, is still fully present, so to speak, as well as in parts of the Vespi. And Dim Forest is another area. So they used to be, I have it back in the day, they were used to be full of forests that had all sorts of kind of connections that way. But now Sus is one of the last ones that are within close by civilization that is still that way.
Okay.
So to speak, and I have that one of the reasons, and it's in a way it's like Celine want to keep an eye on the Sus, and there's things in the Sus that wants to keep an eye on Celine. So there's a reason both of them are still there, so to speak, that one leads to the other in some ways. So and I have it that Sus is basically and I have it that the Fae is one of these transitory outer planes that goes all the way from high up there to down there, so to speak. It's a way if you want to travel around the outer big cosmic wheel, you can either use the astral or you can travel from plane to plane around the wheel, but you can also use the Fae. Fae is the all the way, and the whole shebang, so to speak. But you have the bottom one, it's a Shadowfell. That's the really dark that leads have connections all the way to the abyss and all the other lower planes at the end. And then you have the light Fey at the top, so to speak. And that is reflected in the way that Selene is the light side, so to speak, and Sus is the dark side. And so you have like a mini Fey playing out in the Flannies just there, so to speak.
It's pretty
And then
cool.
you have the up in the Vestvi, it's not as clear cut there way. It's more like spread out in pockets here and there. The dim forest is another dark pocket. So the elves tend to keep an eye on them and patrol them to some degree. So nothing major nasty comes in there. And vice versa. There are things in those forests that likes to prey on elves and keep an eye on them too. So I have it that it's part of the multiverse that kind of plays out in the Flannies.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
So
that's the and then there's simply a lot of little critters of various kinds that just live there because the environment is nice. It's a nice place for them to hang out, like giant spiders and all sorts of things that don't that like these old forests that it's like a good habitat for them, a good biome for them to hang out in.
So I found the penultimate ending of another adventure path
Mhm.
in the SUS that we did. That was for the Feast of Fiends fundraiser, which is like
Oh, wow.
2024. And here we go here with there's Venarian Vord and Ravalantar together in this adventure. There's Elazira. So this is, I think, the time that there's Narax, Mike Disney's character. Um, and that was at the end of this, and that was yes, the son of Orcus adventure that
Orcus
they.
son.
What's that?
Orcus son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was a fun one. So the sun is still around, but banished or got taken care of, and that was in that area of the SUS on the other side. It'll fit into the Twilight Forest connection where we're aired. The SUS and the Twilight I'll use to very similarly when we put stuff out for aired there. But yeah, that was adventure 1032. 99 adventures ago that was done. I went in and got this out and looked and found it, Empire of the Sun. So it was a fun, year 6 fundraiser. Yeah,
Nice
finale
play
there.
on words.
Yeah, yeah, isn't that funny, man? Yeah. So we did a lot of other ones in this area. Like, here's another one: Nuclear Meat, Minions of the Sun, 1029. So if I just go back here and see what kind of demons, I always go like, what kind of demons did I have in those adventures out of the SUS? And I think it's just going to be terrain. It's not going to show. Yeah, this is just pre-terrain setups. I was outside of Trade Town, which is a big place now. It's just growing, which is on the river, and is growing a lot. Yes, you got your characters here, and it's expanded. I got more buildings in it, and they've been expanded on the area. So you got some cool characters there. They're still playing. There's Maram, there's Faunalin. If Bird ever plays, there's Orinthera right there. Yeah, it was a fun group of characters going back. So we had a lot of fun in that. Definitely a place that would make sense to build up. That I got the map for. I was waiting for that specific, really cool map that I could have all those tributaries all over the place, right? Underlay. I just couldn't do just a river. A straight river would have been fun. I wanted it so that there was like sandbars and stuff all around. So that was a fun time. Yeah. Um, Tim, thoughts on like if you wanted to high level back in the area around Altamira, some ideas, man. You got any? Something you'd like to see?
For like one of my characters? Or
Yeah,
just
yeah, absolutely. or lower levels. Like you're gonna relocate your Skeev's kids there because they left Hardby.
Yeah, well, I want Crystal needs to stay by the ocean. He's just
Yeah.
the because as far as you'll let me, I want to experiment with the sea mage for
Yeah. Okay.
and he's practicing his sea shanty, so
Oh.
But high level,
Oh, any level. I just was curious. Just was curious.
I forget where I settled Glamdring. I don't know if I think Glamdring's near where Fencing's at, so I think
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We've used Glamdring there too.
my dad has a character that I think I'd like to take over. It's a fighter necromancer.
Oh.
Fighter Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
Which character is it?
I forget his name. I have to dig in the books and find
Fighter
it.
Necromancer.
Yeah.
I'll just look up in the book. Yeah.
I think he's mid-level. He's not very.
Rolk. No, Rolk Aether was not a no, it wasn't Rolk Aether. Okay,
Rolk's just a straight match.
Yeah, you can take him over. I know your dad's limited, very limited, but
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah,
He'll watch us on Twitch sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Some Abdul. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Abdul. It's no one high power like that. It's just another guy. But I was like, that sounds interesting.
What would your dad have thought? Here's a question. So Saturday in the Altamira area. So let me bring this up. Let me bring this map up. I wanted to get the new generation of all these new people that are playing in this area. And I've brought the mongrels over here. You know that, right? And they are starting to figure out that they need to crossbreed a dark elf with a surface elf first, get an elf drow, and then that can breed with an orc, right?
Yeah.
But what would your dad have thought if he knew there was someone named the new junior running around?
Oh, he'd definitely want to go ahead and kill that guy.
Because he did. Because he did the first time in GREYHAWK City.
Yeah, he wouldn't take any trophies this time, though.
Yeah, all right. That's right. That's one of the greatest stories ever. And we've told it multiple times.
Yeah, he took a trophy. And Jay, of course, exploited that cool little fact to be cool and stole it and then used that trophy to resurrect.
Basically, his halfling.
Oh, really? What evil deity would resurrect? That's evil people don't do that.
What? It was great. It was called Mongrel Resurrection. So the halfling, half orc, the original junior was
half halfling, half orc. That's that's awesome.
That's a mongrel. The mongrel's in the putrid tongue. Orcs, it says right in the original monster manual, orcs are fecund, will breed with anything except they can't breed with elves. Right? That's one thing it says they can't breed with. So the mongrels have
There's a way.
They take tongues, they put them on their shields, they animate them, right? Put them around necklaces. I tried my damnedest Saturday to get some tongues, almost did. But
really
what happened was Junior was they would raid Elmshire constantly. If all you don't know, Elmshire is the frickin' Palermo of GREYHAWK. It gets constantly right. It gets run over by everything. Halfling community. There's a halfling community out here. Why? Why is there a halfling community here? It's right for raiding, getting raided off their Div, but the Mongrels go in and they, the orcs. Because remember, the Mongrels area started in Diamond Lake, which is this is a great skirmish zone here. The Cairn Hills itself is awesome, right? Through Diamond Lake and all. Oh, and the reason why is this called Silent Cliffs on the other side of the lake, Anna?
They don't have tongues.
Right.
Oh.
All the people in Silent Cliffs lost all their tongues.
No,
all their tongues were removed. All except the halfling, which was, I think his name was Niles, which was a cousin of Petronius. Yeah. So that's why Silent Cliffs came out. It's on the northeastern shore of the Diamond Lake on the other side. Yeah, that's a recent adventure. But the mongrels would, once they figured out that the halfling orc crossbreed was great, that was it. So I had to bring back Junior, the new Junior, because like Tim truly hates him. But it's a point of, but he's not the penultimate. The penultimate is an elf drow bred with an orc, because that's the secret. But
Oh
they
yeah.
lost that. They lost that the first time. They lost the technology to do that.
It's okay to
Yeah,
have
Curtis,
mon-
thanks. And go to barbecuing. I'll be talking to you in a week. I'll see you Saturday. I don't
It's
think I have
okay
a
to have
shout out done
mongrels.
yet. Yeah,
It's okay to have mongrels in other places too, because they got to branch out.
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want to get
It's-
killed off in one spot.
That's
It's
exactly
good
right.
franchise. Yeah.
It's a
mhm.
good franchise and it's fun and it's
Mhm.
it scares the crap out of the player characters
That's
because
right.
now they're not worried about dying. They're worried about getting incapacitated.
Yeah,
You know,
it's worse.
so they're paranoid about whole person spells, paralyzations, poison. It really puts them on their toes. So I like that.
That's right.
And that area is in this. You know, we have that adventuring out in this area here. So
And I made other different types of mongrels as well.
you did. You made you went. Yeah. Yours are pretty disgusting.
There's extras.
Yeah,
only
they take
like
flesh
one other
off of the
type.
body. It's just really good. Yeah, you've gone a level of disgusting above past me, which I didn't know was possible. So right. Plus, they don't breed like yeah. Enemies that force you to take regenerate spells. Yeah, that. But regenerate spells regenerate's a 7th level spell. So that they did get a regenerate on a scroll at the end of Adventure Saturday, which was good. So, all right, I went off on a tangent. So Tim's dad, Petronius, Druid Thief. Now, Korg has a Druid Thief he's playing on who's 7/6 now. That is if you play old school Halfling, probably the best combination you can have.
It is a super good one. It buffs up the hit points of the thief, and
they go up quick, both of them.
they go up quick. Yeah,
both classes go up super quick. Druid, in fact, goes up faster than Thief, up to 9th level.
and they get a spell every level at the 3rd.
Right? Yeah,
Like a
so
new spell level.
Yeah, absolutely. So his Tim's dad, John, had Petronius took 12/12 Druid Thief. He's in Greyhawk City. He's probably one of the most powerful characters in that section. And when he killed Junior, he took his scrotum ball sack as a trophy and made a tobacco bag out of it.
That is quite the heck of a story. Yep.
That was and it was one of the funniest. I couldn't stop laughing. It came from out of nowhere.
It's a perfect shape for a tobacco bag.
Your dad. Yeah. It was one of the funniest things ever. But I'm like thinking to myself, well, down the road, I can resurrect him.
Yep.
That,
it is also out of character, really. I mean, he's
he was, but he hated that character.
For him,
he hated that character so much, Tim, which was a great thing. So I did my job. Yeah. But now but this is a different Junior. It's not the same one. Yeah, isn't it? So just note that Junior got away again. If you saw the adventure Saturday, it was a tough adventure, right? So this is another good skirmish zone thing. I love the Lort Mills because you can almost have anything you want happen here. So what happened was Wolfmaster Keep got attacked when they were coming back from another adventure, got attacked by a bunch of mongrels. They captured one, and they're searching for the night-skinned elf because now they're figuring out the upper management's figuring out. Wow, we need drow. We need these drow, and they know they're drow in the area because of these 2 towers, and that's where the adventure took place. So, and that was a fun thing on Saturday. So if you haven't seen it, the players in that, in particular, both Coco and Star did a great job in doing some things to save the butts of the players. Really did.
How scared were they?
Well, Tim thought he was Tim DeTruly. I don't know if I can show it. But let me bring this up real quick. Okay. All right. So this is a stage pick. All right, this was a stage for, I do stage picks all the time for Instagram. So back behind this, right? So the 2 towers are up here, right? Behind. I had the half orc archer up the top of this tower, just waylaying them. So Farnlin touches Catherine von Poppen and teleports Dimension Doors up top there. Stop the archer. Tim, He charges. There's the shaman's here. You can see his body there.
Yeah.
He's about where he is in this picture. No one else is within 100 feet of him. He charges around the corner over to back here. And I have a prayer on, and I do a whole person at -2. Here now, here's where the audience was on my side for a change. Anna, let you hear this. Tim makes his save by 1. He has no hero points. I have 2.
From me, right?
Yeah,
I gave
took
you
it down.
2
I was like,
specials.
I'm going to use my last 2 hero points. You failed by 1. He has no specials. He's cooked. He's there. It's a half orc, half troll shaman, right? A witch doctor. He's got 5 tongues around his neck already. It's a magical +1 tongue tool.
Yeah.
And this is Star's character back here, but she's way, way back. She has 1/4 level spell. She dimension doors right there that route.
But how did she know he was held?
Because she was watching it. She was watching. She could see him, and he's not moving. Right? She saw him held. He's not moving.
All right.
Yeah. So she dimension doored and saved his butt, or his tongue was gone. Yeah, it was awesome.
And I tell you what, that's lucky. Well, he could have just ignored her. The troll could have ignored her and cut his tongue out anyway.
Could have, but she backstabbed him, and then he was
come
in
on.
trouble and stuff. Yeah, so it was good. It was good. It was a good fight. It was fun. It was fun. Just note, I'm like using the mongrels again.
You could have gotten his tongue and just take the hit and just cut his tongue out.
He could have.
Come on, that would have been awesome.
I didn't want him dying there. But one other penultimate thing was when at the base of the towers here, right? This is funny. So I'll tell this story, then we'll move on. So I named her Myra Hotchkiss, and someone got it. Anyone know where the name Myra Hotchkiss comes from?
Oh, it's the nurse from the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh no, that's Nurse Ratchet.
Oh damn, that was a Nurse Ratchet. Okay,
I call my wife that sometime, Anna.
Myra Hotchkiss.
Yes.
I feel like I've heard it before.
Is it from MASH? No, it's not
no,
from MASH.
Hollybound guy, Clerks 2. Pillow Pants, the troll that she had inside her, right?
Oh.
If you ever saw, right? So Myra Hotchkiss is up there. She jumps off of the top tower with the ring of feather falling, and it's going to shoot. And Courtney did a funny thing. Coco cast Dispel Magic, and she shot 20 feet already. There's another 80 feet to go. Percentile works 1 round, right down, splat, right?
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah, Myra Hotchkiss. Yeah, it's Clerks 2. Good job. Yes, Pillow Pants and Lister Fiend. But she's in the negatives. Later in the fight, Junior comes over right where that mark is. Junior comes over and death doors her and is going to try and get away with her. Well, she cast. Then she cast, because the big Cyclops had come. She cast the Acid Bolt spell, the Dark Elf Acid Bolt spell. She has 4th level area effect, and that just put her right down back in the negatives and killed her. And Junior's like, "Sorry, Myra, you're done." And he left. Yeah, that was a good job. Yeah, Myra Hotchkiss. Yeah, I'll throw them out sometime, Holland. That was a good catch there, man. So that was fun. That's all happened. So you got a lot going on. So Hateful Wars were all in this area. The Druid's Defile. So you got a lot of stuff you can do in the area as far as ghosts, hidden humanoid enclaves, finding ancient weapons, all sorts of things you can do. And I've been doing that for a couple of years. And it's right. I mean, the Swiss right here too. It's a great area, and I think that's why one of the reasons wwhy we put Altamira where it was a trade route to connect the southern Wales Castle all the way up through the Principality into Selene.
I would say that really the hills are shown on the map to show the elevation, but really they're not so high that the Sus wouldn't be growing into it. Those are forested hills also.
Yeah, you're correct. There are forested hills.
So
particularly over here.
Where does it begin? Where does it end? Well, it changes, right?
Yeah. Particularly over here. Well, the river cuts through here, the Jewel, so it doesn't. Yeah, but there's a lot of forested hills on this side too, up here where it's called the Handmaiden River. The Jewel and the Handmaiden meet, and it turns into the Jewel exclusively here, right? That's Arathorn's. hold there, and then there's a Lane Winchester's keep. Turns out Lane Winchester has a son that no one knew about. We just did that because he's in line for the throne of Selene. Yep. And lastly, whose tower is High Mount Tower? Get in line if you want to have him do a permanency on something.
Oh, is that Alan?
Bill Laughlin.
Bill Laughlin.
Yeah, who's missing? He's missing now, so no one knows where he is.
He's in the basement working on something, or up in that tower working on something.
That's it.
Jumping dimensions.
All right, Anna. Tim, more skirmish zones in Greyhawk. Where we got? What time is it? Okay, 8:30. Time's flying.
Well, down there. What about on the sea coast? Those sea princes and the.
Oh yes, I was
yeah,
hoping
that's a
Mike
place.
It's a huge place.
Obvious
Waterbound skirmish zones.
Yeah.
Sea princes into the Principality of Ulick and Keeland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if you go with the plot without Scarlet Brotherhood in here, and you go back to the old days of piracy and the old days of fighting and shipbuilding and all that stuff, you can have a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun. In fact, GREYHAWK Mike ran an adventure for us, a lot of us at GaryCon late night. Saturday night? Was that Friday night or Saturday night, Mike, if you're on? I think it was, I want to say it's Saturday. We had that, and he ran it in basic, and it was a blast. Just running that stuff, because he's got all these different factions and all these different organizations Mike has, and it's really this is an area you can have a blast in, you know. So why can't I adjust that now? Hopefully I didn't.
I have a group from my son, and it's in Salt Marsh. So they have the boat now. They have the.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a crew for a year. They earned that helping out the town. So.
They own it outright, or are they renting it, or?
They have the boat, but the crew has been kind of hired for them. Like,
that's cool.
By the city council.
Ulick. Ulick? No, so it's Ulick because all is here. All is ULL. It's Ulick. ULEK, not Ulick. Ulick. It's okay. Dude, there's so many different ways to say stuff. 100 different. I did not realize in that one publication, Anna, this one, right? It has the pronunciations for a lot of things.
Like oith.
Right?
It's orth.
Right. There's pronunciations in this book.
Yeah. But they have orth, and I like orth. The E is, you don't hear it. So, orth. Yeah.
Orth. Yeah. So, it's Ulick. We used to say, we hack up names like crazy, so don't feel bad.
No, we all do.
We all do. We all hack up names like crazy. The first person who heard I ooze was Len Lakofka. He went I ooze. You know, that's where.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a is. So
yeah. We have. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Anna. Go ahead.
I was going to say we have one area that I think we need to mention for traditional Greyhawk players, so to speak, and that's Geoff against the Giants and stuff like that. Those adventures. Good. That's a classic Greyhawk skirmishing area.
What's more Sterich than Geoff, right?
Well, both of them are, but Geoff, well, you have the Against the Giants, and then that goes on in all the way into the Living Greyhawk era. So they're both Sterich and Geoff are full of skirmish type encounters and adventures and modules and stories and stuff throughout the entirety of the published Greyhawk setting.
And the last session I did with Mark was G1.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, how many times do you think you run G1? 10 in 45 years, Tim?
Probably
run it 5 times.
Probably 5.
5, yeah.
Although I ran it for my daughter, and she basically snuck in, stole all the treasure, avoided fighting everybody, and just snuck around and just stole everything.
Was she playing her pixie?
Yeah.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Oblivion.
She's like, I don't want to be involved with that. It's going to take all their stuff.
Well, welcome, Oblivion. So if you don't know, I've been playing myself Holmes Basics since '78, and my GREYHAWK campaign. let's not, is one of the longest in existence. It's in year 45. I will not say it's the longest because Warp is that 50th anniversary, which is Andrew Scott Perry's group, which is really deviated off, but it's okay. There's a lot of tech in it. Goes to 76, and that's their 50th anniversary is at GaryCon this upcoming year. So it's great to see you here. Yes. Note that you are in company with Tim. I've known Tim since 1980, and we've been playing together for 45 years. So hey, Dub, what's up, dude? So please give us a follow, hang out. You found the spot for old school. I'm a 1E2E DM. Tim's a 1E DM. Anna's got her own system, but we're all GREYHAWK DMs. We're all plus the entire community. We have a con, and if you all don't know about it, it's coming. The signups for it are. Where's my show? Geez, I have too many shout outs, Anna.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, too many. There we go. There. So Virtual GreyHawk Con there's plenty of events with open signups. It's the first weekend in October, all virtual. You can get on and play, with hang out. Laser Dongface Melter, thank you very much for the resub. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Dubs, good to see you too. I know you got your new channel. I made sure that I'm connected with it. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you, and thanks for the hype train. So, yeah, I know Return. I know Return is a Return to the against the Giants was popular because they added a lot of other locations and Cloud Giants and a floating castle, right?
Yeah.
And then Vaughn did the Sturridge Adventures that are in a Dungeon magazine. They're based on this area for Against the Giants. There's a lot to do. Yep. So Oblivion, I had a Holmes Basic box set without dice. I had chits in my first box.
The prison set.
The prison edition. Yeah. Yeah, man, we're doing good. We're having it, we normally are on Sunday nights, but we're on Monday night because of I had a cookout at my house last night. So, Tim, talking about a skirmish zone, how about the Underdark itself?
Yeah, but I would have that as slightly different in its own realm. I see it more as a variant of Dungeon Adventures in a way.
Right.
But of course, you can have that as a skirmish too. But I see skirmish usually as outdoors adventures for the most part. But that's just my hang-ups. Yeah.
You could have like where the Underdark penetrates the surface is where the skirmish zone would be.
Yeah, they pop out and go around terrorizing the countryside or something.
Couple kind of things like that, I guess, in the Carl Sargent. The name is escaping me. The box set of the Underdark, but it's
But it's also part of the G series when the Drow comes out on the in the original G series or D series rather. They come to the surface and do raids and stuff. So I guess that's part of Drow behavior to go up there and do surface raids.
Right, and the whole point of this was another Underdark connection, and these two towers that I've had out for a long time. And the first adventure I ever did here was with Ed Greenwood and Luke Gygax. First time we ran that here because they were searching for equipment from the Hateful Wars. Is that they're Drow towers, but there was an earthquake and exposed them. So that area fell down around it, and that's why they're exposed. They're actually, Drow outposts. So that's why the mongrels were there trying to find, and they found a Drow, but she was a little stray priestess who was monitoring the,
who wasn't into orcs.
No, no. So they rescued her, Shyla, I named her. So there you go. But yeah, there's a lot of fun you can do with the D series. And connect. So
I was just as you mentioned you were doing this topic, I was thinking it was interesting when in Italy, like in northern Italy, right on the Piedmont area, the very northern area, a lot of blonde hair, blue eye, because it changed hands so many times as
Oh
they
yeah,
pushed,
yeah.
as
The
they pushed.
Tyrol is part.
Yeah,
They still speak German and
yeah,
stuff there. So
they
yeah.
pushed the border back and forth.
Well,
I
it
mean,
was the Holy Roman Empire for hundreds of years. So
right,
yeah.
and they they would have. I'm sure they had like several different flags. Who's in charge today? We
Hmm.
put their flag out,
Yeah.
and so I was thinking that makes an interesting campaign scenario too for players who maybe aren't politically vested. Somebody comes in, rides in, takes over, change of scenery. Everyone's like, okay. And maybe the party is hired by one side
Hmm.
to fight, but the people around you are like, we're not fighting. We don't care who's in charge. It's all the same.
Yeah.
And that it creates a different dynamic for gaming.
What's up, Patrick? Hope you're doing well, man.
It
Yeah,
could
but
be
you know,
more complicated or less, depending.
the classics are exactly that, classic. You know, Night Below is a mega
The night
adventure,
below.
a mega adventure that's got very little drow in it. You know, it's based on that. You know, mostly Aboleth, right? Croatoans and Aboleth, which is okay.
It's unpleasant.
Yeah. Did you finish it?
No,
But you got into it. Yeah, it's a long. I mean, it's a
no.
Sergeant Gem. You know.
Yeah.
It's an
That's one of
absolute.
those that my son has to be a little older to fully appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, we did stuff like that back in the day that I wouldn't recommend for kids now. So, Patrick, thanks, man. Thank you very much. You got G-Dub in there. That's good. Thank you.
The more I see about mining and underground stuff, the less I would be like wanting to go down there. The more it's like, earthquake, just all sorts of terrible things can happen. I mean, I'm gonna do my way out. Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, someone collapses the stuff behind you, and you're doomed. Yeah. But there's always down. You can always go. You can open a opening even further down or something. So yeah.
It's just super heinous. I just.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's been a blast. Randomly getting don't even. I would not. Something I would not do.
If Steve Chenault was running it, there'd be a lot of water hazards.
Oh yes, you fall in water immediately. I don't. Yeah, that's what everybody. I've only played once with him, and of course I fell in the water. So yeah.
Oh well, he had an adventure Thursday night, right? And I before we were running ours. So he's starting to do some Thursday night stuff, and I think 2 of the characters died because it was a water
they drowned.
And they had to make up new characters right then and there on the spot.
If you play in a Steven Chenault game, learn to swim. Make sure your character know how to swim. Don't wear heavy armor and
I don't know if he was I don't think he was in the unit when him and I were stationed both in the Army and stationed in Hawaii at the same time.
Oh wow.
While I was there, those 3 years, there was a soldier who went missing, and he had been out in the training area lost on land nav. And so for days, units were getting shoulder to shoulder and walking across, and they eventually found where he was in a low area that had a pond of water, and he was drowned in the water. So we think that he fell, hit his head, or just got bogged down and whatever. For some reason, he drowned in there. So I don't know if he was part of that unit.
Might have inspired him to
But that's But water is serious business. It's
especially when it gets cold.
In the military, if you're training, water is never a training event. You have to treat it like it's real. You have to. We're just training. No, you have to, because water can kill you, whether it's training or not.
Right.
They threw us into ice water with old gear, and we had to get up again. And first you have to calm down so you don't panic. So they ask you questions. So you have to be in there for like 10 seconds and then bake your way out of it, so to speak. And
you've been scarred ever since.
Oh God, I that's my worst PTSD. I hate being cold in cold water. When I was a kid, no problem, but now I'm like, no, no.
You weren't thrown in a bamboo cage and prodded with pokers
like
Tim was.
Yeah,
I know.
Not too
plywood
far
boxes, Jay.
It was a plywood box. My God.
They locked us in rooms at times and did things too. So that's part of the training. Yeah.
For all those that are fairly new here, just here, Virtual GreyHawk, look at all there's a ton of events. Some of them live streamed, like this.
Yeah.
This Orc Skull Murder and GreyHawk. This is a 9-hour event that they're doing on Orc Skull's channel, starting at going through the night, or starting at 6 and going to like 3 a.m. Whatever. Hey, have at it, guys. There's one seat left for that, but there's still a lot of, and like I said, sign-ups just started Saturday for this. Tim's is sold out. Anna has one that's only got one sign up so far.
Yeah, and the other ones are sold out.
Shillin
Yep.
Scout Party. It's only a 2-hour length long one.
Well,
but,
we can see if we can squeeze in a third hour worst case scenario.
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah.
So there's that one of Anna's. So she's got hers. All mine are sold out, including the legendary. What we all know, every Saturday we run the great. And the not deadly, but the wonderful Grand Joust of Altamira is there again.
So. Pokemon sessions. Damn.
No, Props being a smart ass. He should. I don't know why he didn't say Buck Rogers.
Who's sponsoring it this year, Jay? Who's sponsoring the Grand Joust of Altamira this year?
We gotta think about that. Oh, the Tickling Feather all the way.
No, they can't sponsor the whole thing. Housing and provided by the Tickling Feather.
Let me think about that.
Guest quarters for all participants taken care of by the Tickling Feather.
You're in, Wayne.
All transportation requirements paid for by Pete and John's Cartage Service.
We'll have some fun with that. But like I said, there's a ton of great events run by great people. And they're all the Martin live streams. You can just get on and either Discord or Zoom or whatever the connection you're using and play. So, all right, we'll come back to that.
I think fencing should sponsor it this year.
Yeah, well, what, the Golden Tower? That rhymes too much with this.
No, Lightning Rod.
Oh, Lightning Rod Tower. That's Lane Winchester.
If you're gonna have a rod, you might as well have a lightning rod.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it rhymes too much with that. So, yeah, it'll be fun.
Rhymes too much with what?
That.
Oh.
Golden something. What? Gotta have some fun. All right. So, other skirmish areas. So I'm going to, I know we're not touching the eastern side of the map that too much, everyone. Too bad. Sorry. This is a campaign. This is Gabbin. This isn't Legends and Lore. So, yeah.
You can always have local skirmish areas between.
Well, one can mention. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, huh?
Duchies and such like that,
Yeah, on the eastern side of the map, if you play into the story of Rinlore being taken over by undead and a Nerul priest that has armies of undeads and stuff, that might be a thing to go and hunt them down if they start spreading and stuff. That might be an interesting adventure.
You mean a bitterness?
No, Rinlore. Now you have to geography. Yep, GREYHAWK geography. Northeast, North Kingdom, eastern end of the North Kingdom.
Oh.
There you have Rinlore. Yep.
We don't care about those foreigners out there.
Yeah. Where is it, Anna? I have no idea.
A little bit south. There you go.
Thanks, Councilman.
A little bit more south.
Is it in the middle or is it on the coast?
No, it's on the eastern side there.
Oh,
Principality of Rinlore. There you go. Yep. That one was with the Undying. It was a couple of Nerulean priests that have taken over and basically turned the whole city into undeads. So it became like a zombie apocalypse local one or regional one. So that could be an interesting scenario to clean that up, that mess up. That might be a skirmish, go and fight hordes of undeads roaming the countryside and stuff.
Do you really want to do a favor for the North Kingdom, though?
Well, you might work for the North Kingdom to do it. Yeah. You might be good guys and they realize that you're the best people for the job because you're the few that are the good guys. Yeah, exactly. You're contractors. so you might get the option. You capture, say, if you go there and fight undead, you'll live. And otherwise we'll kill you on the spot, so to speak.
I mean, Spine Castle, this is a great area for
That's a good one. The whole of the Bone Marsh is a perfect example on the east side of the map that you can do.
The whole Bone Marsh.
Various skirmish. Yep.
Absolutely. Sergeant's Divot is a masterpiece. It's just
it's a good one.
There's only so many. I don't, the Order of Ulick is there's not gonna be any Order of Ulick over in the Great Kingdom, so I just never.
Well,
had
there are a
it.
lot of factions of various kinds, so there could be various knighthoods
Yeah,
going around.
absolutely.
But in order to be recognized, you need a sponsor. You need to be someone's knight of
Right.
some
Yeah.
standing, so to speak.
Yeah,
But
Dragon
Daga
Heart's
here,
good again.
you need to read the Undying. That damn, that's compulsory GREYHAWK read.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. It's why it was never
Oh, yeah.
published. No one knows.
Well, it was simply because they ran out of money.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
just before when they went bankrupt, so they didn't have the money to print
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and if you know, and it's got a cover. It's actually got a birthright cover. For it. It was which is
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
birthright
There's some.
publication.
Yeah, that was made with some heraldry and stuff on it, so
Whoops.
it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on one second here.
That might be a thing or a detail here and there that I don't like, but for the whole, it was a
Well,
wonderful write up from
Yeah.
covering that whole area of the map. So
It looks
and
like the
someone
Marklands.
turned. Yeah.
Errors.
Yeah, and the thing was that it was released as a Word document or just an RTF, like a rich text format back in the 90s, late 90s, 96 or 95 or something like that, 96, I think it was. And then someone turned it into a beautiful PDF that looks like it was what it would
Right.
have looked like, but it
And no
had
one
it
knows who
been
did it.
printed. Exactly. It was something that popped up a little while later on the internet.
Right.
They formatted that RTF file and text file and turned it into a document like this. So this is kind of roughly what it would look like, I think. Yeah.
That's funny. We're gonna go. Yeah. So.
I
Look
have
at
a
that! Oh my gosh, 851. Holy
What's
jeez.
Yeah.
what's up with the Wild Coast? How come no one else has kind of come in and take that over?
Well,
I'd imagine there'd be skirmishes, people trying to do it, but everybody there is so
It's such a
surly.
bad. Well, Turushmak and Pomarsh took it over, so the
Well,
Orcish Empire
that
he took
depends
it
on
over.
what version.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
have.
I was going to say it depends on what timeline you subscribe to. So to
I
speak.
just have them with Elrid. I don't have them with Bad Waterfax. I just have them with Elrid only. That's it. Because it's the rest of it, it stopped way short. But there's a lot you can do with that. There's a lot you can do with the area.
There's too many high-powered people from the Wild Coast that would let that happen.
Well, yes, but in our campaign, Tim, because considering all the characters either came from Selene or Wild Coast in the first generation, right? All of them. This is where we started when we were kids in 1980.
Wild Coast is cool, man.
Yeah, it is. It's super cool. But there's a lot going on skirmish-wise up here. You got my Shrine, you got the Cockatrice Riders, and you got the Narwhal Headhunters. Remember, I have 2 groups in Narwhal, and those are all. There's a détente right now. There's a signed détente between all 3 factions that cat alert, that they won't go after each other, and they will leave each other to their beings as long as they don't invade each other's territory, and that's a temporary truce. And then you got all sorts of other things going up and down. Plus, if you're going to be sailing down here, you're going to deal with slavers, which is awesome. Hey, Sparkles, Mandy, good to see you. Yeah, normally we're on Sunday, but I had family stuff, so we're cranking it out tonight.
Yeah.
Exclamation point drawing, because we're about finishing up here. Because we're going to
I'm
go to 9.
I'm gonna bow out.
Yeah, Tim, thanks for hopping on,
Okay.
man. Hopefully give us some good
It's
memories
fun.
there.
Well, I
Yep.
do love skirmishing. So
Yeah, and we need to talk. We need to still set a date for
yes,
the city-state game.
I'll
really.
try to come up with a date or two tomorrow.
Yeah, come up with a date or two. I have no schedules for the next 3 Saturdays yet.
All right.
13th, 20th, and 27th is my birthday. That probably won't be that good.
Yeah.
13th or the 20th. Just take a look. All right.
All
All right,
right.
Tim. Thanks for hopping on, man.
Thank
Yep.
you. Bye, Anna. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
So, as we finish this up, anyone in the audience with any questions? We got 75 people on a Monday night, Anna. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, Tim, you gotta, Tim is and I go so far back. I mean, Walt, Tim, and I go. Alan's 78, but he never played. Alan never played with Walt and Tim in that era, because Alan went to a different high school, so Alan didn't start coming back to 85, 86. So from 80 to 85, it was myself, Walt, Tim, and Marco. That was the group. back then. So that was
It's so bad that Marco it doesn't live in your area, so he can play
no, he
with
lives
you.
in Ohio. Yeah. So Jay,
Yeah.
would you place Return to the Keep of the Borderlands in Greyhawk? Yeah, of course. It's on the map. It's
Yep.
on the map. But I would move it if you're going to use it. If you don't want to play in the Yeomanry, because it's here. It's Kendall Keep.
Yeah, it's in the Yeomanry in the west there. It's
Right
Kendall Keep.
Yeah. I have placed it, and not permanently, but when we first did our Shieldlands group, before Iusian Invasion, we called them the Keep group because I put it out here in this area where Marco's character David Gradavis. I put it out here somewhere against bandits, the Bandit Kingdoms. That's where I had it.
Yeah.
So,
and the name Kendall Keep comes from Return to the Keep of the Borderlands because they named the keep in that
that's what he's
module. The
asking
first
about.
module didn't have it. Yeah, it didn't have the
Thanks,
it
Crazy
didn't have a
Cyber.
name in the original one, but in the Return to it had a name. So I used that name and placed it in Geometry where it's supposed to be. That was the suggested placement in the Return to the Keep of the Borderlands because the original had nothing to do with Greyhawk at all, so to speak. It was just a generic D&D module, period.
If it's your time frame and it depends on what you want to play, you can put it anywhere. Shieldlands or Beaumont or Ratic are great border areas.
Well, it's such a generic, Pomarsh. It's a generic area. So if there's some humanoids and some other stuff, you can just put it in there. It's It was supposed to teach you to play D&D. I think it was more like
The reason I don't do that is Sharnlim is a major character in my Vesvi area, Knights of the High Forest campaign, and she has Castle Elenestra, so that I wouldn't do that for her there. I think she has more of an elvish-based fortress. She has her Tiergs there, if you've read up on her in Marklands. So I don't think that that fits for her, but in your campaign it may. Yeah. So. North of Formward, that would be another good place there, Dragger. That would be another good place. Dealing with the raiding coming in all the time between Ket and Bissell. That'd be another cool place to do it. That would be good right here somewhere.
Jacko, I'm sure that there's been more than 1 million people who played Keep of the Borderlands
probably the most played
through the
adventure
years.
of all time.
Oh yeah, that and Hamlet, but probably Keep of the Borderlands probably one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great place up there. It would be perfect because you can see these are all you got all this open area. Even if you use the Living Greyhawk area of all the keeps that have been placed, you can put it somewhere in that area too. That's a good idea. Yeah, I can see that. I move stuff. I don't have a problem moving stuff. I want stuff being used in my game, and like I said, I moved Lorraine, Orlane was the one I moved over to the Wild Coast. So yeah. Alrighty. So finishing up, Anna. I know Tim came on. We went a little reminiscing there, so hopefully that was
that's okay. That's what Gabbin is for. So,
yeah. So
yeah, I'm deep into prepping for all my games on Virtual GreyHawkCon because they are basically skirmish games, all 3 of them. The first one, you will be a bunch of Shieldland soldiers. So third, maybe, like around 3rd level. And your job is to guard an outpost, and you get attacked and stuff, and you have to deal with it. So that's the first skirmish game. The second game, then you are a bunch of fairly powerful around 8th level, 8th, 9th level, so or 7 to 9. So you're the elite force, so to speak, that has been around for years. You know your job. So these are characters that I played run for about a dozen scenarios now. So they are on Sec and Aru and the bunch that been around for 3 virtual GreyHawkCons now, I think. In various iterations. I've leveled them up from their 8th level. On Sec, I think, is on the way to become 9th level. So they are powerful. And then you are supposed to go behind enemy lines, scout out for the main raid, so to speak. You are there to guide in the main force when it's coming. And so you're going to place beacons, cause some mischief, put a couple of decoys out and guide and tell where the main force going to hit, so to speak, and be there when they hit. That's the spot, so to speak. And then comes the main adventure is when then you play the main force going in and strike hard, so to speak. And the main force, now we're talking high level, 15 level or above. Yeah, so or at least 14th level, I think 15th level. So there will be some. I'm not sure if someone would play Katarina because you might be too powerful for this, but there will definitely be some tough ones. One will be Arton Piritena. He's the bodyguard of Belvor. He's asked specifically to be on this raid. He's I think 16th, 17th level paladin of Heronius. Yeah, so he is a tough bastard, so to speak. He's been through the war against Ayus. He knows his thing or two, and stuff. Here, this time you will have lots of resources and a few hours to burn it off, so to speak. But the opposition is going to be tough. The opposition is going to be really, really tough. But you have the good thing is that you have more knowledge of what you're getting into than the enemy have of you. So you have the moment of surprise on your side. If you play the cards right, you will have surprise on your side, so to speak. So the numbers will be stacked against you, but on the other hand, you will play some really, really powerful characters. And you will also have some artillery coming in that you can guide, so to speak. So you will be having a couple of heavy stuff that you can call in. So the thing will be hopefully the second party, the skirmish or the recon party, have led you to the right spot. That's the key bit, so to speak. They need to find the source. Otherwise, you might run in blind, so to speak. But if they have done their job properly, you will have a good start, and then you will have a couple of really hard-hitting spells and stuff that you can use, and you have to decide if you want to when you want to deploy them, so to speak. And then you have to decide if you want to go full offensive, if you want to lure them in and go a little bit defensive and then hit the hammer. So that will be a little bit of a few tactical choices, a lot of mayhem, and then a few hit hard, so to speak, because you will have some 9th level magic, both against you and on your side, so that you will have a couple of spells that will be really, really hard hitting. And you can, one of them is you will have a Celestial Wall, a 9th level Heronian spell. That is cool, so to speak. So there's you will have some cool stuff that you have in your back pocket that you can use if things go bad, so to speak. And so that I think will be fun. There will be a first time at a real game session that I'm testing high level play.
Wow.
And I can put in I've done some just testing, more like technical tests, but this will be the first time I will run it in a proper session, so to speak. I posted on today for patrons only so far, because I will be doing a whole series of these. Hawktail Basics, and this is physics. This ties into a whole bunch of stuff that will play out on this. So it ties into I explain very briefly what comeliness, presence, and taint is in Hawktails. And then you have essence. That's the kind of life force, how creatures, different types of creatures, meaning humans and dwarfs and many others, are soul based, so to speak. They have a soul, and that means how do that function. I'm just touching it. This is just an intro. It's just to whet the appetite. And then you have damage types. There's 21 types of damage, or 21 damage types in Hawktail so far. And then there's different magic strains and stuff. So I kind of explain a little bit how that is based on physics, because of fantasy physics, not real world physics. We're talking fantasy physics here. So
yeah.
So that is that was part of the inspiration, what I wanted. I wanted to tie this together. I wanted there to be a system behind it, and I wanted it to be more kind of have more depth. Magic, not just be a few numbers and something, meaning when you open a gate to the abyss, there should be more nasty stuff. Ghosts and other things can be really, really nasty. and there's long-term consequences, so to speak, and could be a lot of fun. So it is deeper in sense that regular D&D, it can be you don't have to worry about this. In some sense, you can just play, have fun, swing your sword and cast your fireball and don't worry about it. But if you want to play that paladin type and you want to go down to the abyss, or you want to go into Ayusian lands and start killing him effectively, then you need to know what your limitations are, so to speak. So when you run out of spells, what happens? Can I get new ones? Or and stuff like that. So there are stuff that is that affects this. So there's more to it than the regular D&D, so to speak. It has more flavor and more depth. But hopefully it's not more tough to play, so to speak. That's the goal.
Cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Are
So
you
that's
on? Are
what's
you on
going on.
Friday?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we gotta, since it's normally we're on Sunday, we're on Monday tonight. It's only
Yeah.
one day before in
Mm-hmm.
between.
Yeah.
So it's just Anna and me, no Mike.
Okay. Yep.
The
Mm-hmm.
Boneheart and I use organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Yep.
out of Wheelhouse, right out of I's
Mm-hmm.
Evil, Marklands, easy.
Yep. Yep.
That was fun talking
And
about some
I can
personalities.
mention I'm working on doing heraldry for the IUCN factions.
Oh wow,
So
nice.
some of that will debut. I don't want to spill the beans before Virtual Greyhawk Con. So
Right.
so my seminar there will be when I hope I can have them all. I mean, I
Beautiful.
have about 30 in the making.
Oh, that's great.
30, 35. So it will be like
Nice.
it will be a whole bunch of stuff, including the Boneheart I already have. But I'm going to make new version because I realize they're not used as shields. So
Right.
they will be tattoos and there will be scarifications and there will be other cool stuff, so to speak. That from and also we have all the other villains. What is the you have Kerman, Mindbender, Null, and all the others. So I want to have symbols and stuff and heraldry for them too. So there is a whole bunch of them in the book. So I'm starting a lot of them, several of them I already covered for my campaign, but now it's time to start spilling the beans. So my seminar will be stuff on that, and I might have one or two for Wednesday. We'll see. Yeah, if I have time to do it tomorrow, we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if not, we got the got that
Mhm.
seminar coming up.
We have the ones I've done already. We can definitely show
Yeah,
them if
definitely.
nothing else. Yep.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And we'll go over
Yep.
a lot of characters that are in those publications, so
Yep.
which are must-haves. And that'll be Legends and Lore on Wednesday. I don't think we'll have another guest on with Mike not on. I don't think we need to on this one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night, sorry, Eagles playing the Cowboys. There ain't no game on Thursday night, but we do have a special game Saturday, and it starts at 11. Let our West Coasters sleep in a little bit because we have 3 of them playing. More barbarian stuff going on in the Lort Mills. Barbarian skirmishes this time instead of confrontations. So I got Coco Star, Curtis, and Brett are joining us, and Korg the Mighty, and maybe one other player. And that'll be Saturday at 11. So the gist of this is they thwarted these snow barbarians who are searching for an interment of an adventurer who was the uncle of their king, great uncle, been long dead. And the Frost Barbarians in the party, in particular Coco's character, has been really a thorn in their side, and they've had enough. So we'll see what happens. Supposedly, I have a bunch of great new terrain coming from Gamescape 3D for this adventure. Yeah, and I have a new portal that Bill, you may have seen it on his Instagram, that Bill has done for me for for Saturday as well. So I have that. We sure this isn't a high fantasy football session. No, this is sorry, dude. Football is my sport, and when you're the Super Bowl champs, and plus playing Dallas, you're mortal enemies. It only happens twice a year, so yeah, got it. Because Dallas isn't playoffs anymore. Sorry, just kidding. All right, so that's Barbarian Skirmishes Saturday. It'll be another Frog Guy game giveaway. Maybe one more player joining the group. It'll be a fun time, and with Curtis and Brett there playing the Fridolin brothers, that's going to be that's going to be a blast. It's Greg. It's more of my wife. My wife's into football big time, and we're gonna hang out and together as well. So I miss a Thursday. I rarely miss Thursdays, but we got the Saturday game. So Wednesday and Saturday the rest of the week, and then Sunday for Gabbin next week, this upcoming week. So we're basically 2 Gabbins in the same week. All right, see who wins the giveaway. All right, and then we're gonna raid into Trollords on. So it's Grace doing some pros there, but we'll raid into Trollord because rarely do I get to raid into them. They always raid into us. So we're gonna do that. So exclamation point drawing. If you want to get in, last call. I'll wait a second or two. See if anyone else wants to get in. Classic D&D reprints. Okay. Please all stay in for the raid. All right, closing it out. Here we go. Let's see who the winner is today. Winner is Death Ray in a good way again, man.
Oh, cool.
Wow, you just won a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Death Ray. I forget what I sent you. Oh boy, I think I sent you. I'm gonna have to dig deep. Jeez. I'm gonna dig deep for you, man. You may get some obscure things because I know I just sent you like 3 things last time. So I got you. I'll send you some stuff I know you don't have. All right, 2 things. But I know I send them some other stuff, and I got all the shirts. There was a lot of purchases of shirts. Thank you, t-shirts. I'm almost out of them. I got a couple sizes left. Just go on to the Virtual GreyHawk site under merch. I think I'm at 2X's, but I think all the other sizes are at least 1 left. Yep, September at last. So we'll see you all 2 nights. See you Wednesday night. Anna, thanks. Thanks for hanging on Monday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Tim, for hopping on. That was awesome. So let me see if I hit a right button here, and we're gonna raid into. Yep, got you, Stefan. Raiding into Trollord. Yeah, she's right. She's reading live fiction, so. Okay, nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night.